Hiya. I think I'm gonna go outside. So this is gonna be video 1. Come on, Tater. Yeah, I'll let the dog come with me. Yeah, it's prettier outside. Probably looks a little better for the video. Videos, you say. What about? Oh, look. The other one came to join me. Couldn't even see that or not. It's too bright. Anyway. Oh, I can't turn my head that far. Let's turn. There we go. So, this is gonna be video 1. How many videos are there gonna be? Lots. How many of them are you gonna like? I don't know. How many of them are you gonna dislike? I don't know. How many of them are you gonna go, what the fuck? Can't even be real. She's so full of... I don't give a fuck. Be real. So, like I said, this is video 1. It is gonna be out of a lot. It's gonna be a YouTube channel. I think I'm gonna record a few before I even upload them to where they can be seen and just get things situated and started. Disclaimers. I don't care if you're mad, happy, upset, believer, non-believer, fan, not a fan. I've spent my life dealing with all of it, and frankly, that's why I'm here. I've always felt that I needed to write a book. It's getting hard for me to do stuff like that. My hand doesn't function like I want it to. I also don't sit in that position very well. Medically, I've got some shit going on. We'll talk about that later. I don't feel like talking about it. I know none of y'all do. Frankly, I just want to get into the good stuff. What do I mean good stuff? Why write a book? So since it's hard, I'm going to switch to videos. And I'm going to try and cut them right about an hour. Try to make myself do one each day. Good stuff. Good stuff as in, like, what else happened in my life. Because there's been a lot. And over the course of it, I've met some people that know little bits of things. And sometimes I tell them too much. And they're like, oh, she's been through so much. I just don't even know what to do. Or how to help her. I've had a lot of people go quiet. I've had a lot of people over time that know little bits come to me and ask me, hey, oh my God, I can't believe you've been through such and such. Can you give me some guidance? Because I'm going through such and such. And you've always been smiling and trying to enjoy your days. And I just want to know how you do it. And frankly, that's who I'm here to speak to. The ones that want to judge or try to compare lives or have some self-esteem or ego issue that just want to come on and be negative or any of that sorts, fuck off. I don't fucking care. The drama's not worth it. You having your own self-inflicted issues to where you just can't be nice to people needs worked on. To those that want to know how I get through what I do and keep a positive attitude and be nice, we're going to talk about it because I've been through a lot of things, more things than people should go through or have to go through, and like it or not, I'm going to talk about it because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. It's going to be videos so you get to see it face to face, and frankly, when the Lord decides to take me out, you'll get to see my pretty face because I hope to post it before I go anywhere. And y'all will have a memory of me. So to those who didn't believe that I had shit going on, or that I'm cute and doing shit wrong with her, when I go, you'll have a reminder that maybe you shouldn't judge people. It's not your position to judge people. Just because God made me look like this, which really I don't think is anything. I don't understand why y'all judge the way you do. Doesn't mean that I don't have all sorts of scars and internal damage and other issues going on. So to those who have judged me in that manner, fuck you as well. You know, while we'll touch on that subject, there's been times that I went to go get a job, and I would meet some of the people and, you know, put my first foot forward, and, you know, nervous and anxious and feeling like I don't deserve it because of people like you. I still went in there fist flying, dressed the best that I possibly could, grinning through whatever pains I have, tribulations in my life, and would go in with my education and my credentials that I busted my ass for and try for the job. And, you know, sometimes I would get through 1, 2, 3, 4, get to the 4th interview. You know, the manager be on board, his assistant be on board, everything just going super well. Because, you know, I'm a pretty real person. I speak how it is. My education and my background's my education and my background. My history is my history. You judge that as it is. Take it as data. Yeah, I've always been pretty good in that aspect. But, you know, you meet up with the wrong person, and all of a sudden they've got some sort of personal vendetta against you, and boom, everything you thought you had going for you just goes chew. Because that one person. And that one person only did it because they've got some sort of self-inflicted bullshit going on. They look at you and they're like, this girl doesn't deserve it just because she looks cute. You know what? I'm busting my ass. And I've had many situations where I was judged superficially and didn't get what I, you know, worked hard for. I was going to say deserve, but nobody is their own judge of what they deserve. That's God's position. A whole nother story. But to make it to the 4th interview, and then as soon as the screen opens, the girl have this snooty attitude. And you know immediately you're not gonna get it. It hurts. I worked hard for my portfolio. That's what mattered. I work hard to help people. That's what matters. There was this lady in HR. I'm not gonna say what company. I've worked at a lot of places, so I'm just gonna say that she wasn't very nice to me. She treated me like that too. And I worked hard. And I worked hard for my position. And people that knew me knew that. And knew that I was good people, good heart, and good at my job. And to be judged like that's not very nice, especially when you don't know what's going on. I ignored it. You know, I do what what we're supposed to do. Love and light, forgive, grace. Anyway, she wasn't very nice to me for a long time. And then happened to get stuck with her in a situation where my son was in the same vicinity. She didn't know that. She popped off something snippy like, "Oh, are you trying to help this person?" And I turned around, I was just like, "Oh, actually, I am. I'm taking this person to someone because that's where they need to go, and it is to help them." And joke's on you, this is my youngest son standing next to me, my adult youngest son. So thanks for the judgment. Her mouth dropped and she stepped out of my way, and she finally quit treating me like I was some sort of 12-year-old. You know, I do have gray. I'm not a fucking child. I go to doctors and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I just want you to make sure with an x-ray that I didn't break something, because I feel like something's broken. Can you check me?" And they're like, "Wouldn't you be crying?" I've been in pain a long time. Anybody with chronic pain, you know, eventually they quit crying. Especially when people don't want to hear it. People get tired of hearing it. Some people don't believe it. All sorts of different reasons. But I do, sometimes. It happens. Sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just bitter and angry, and it makes me understand why some older people are bitter and angry. Also kind of makes me understand why my jaw hurts so bad, and the dentist tells me that my teeth are ground down from me grinding my teeth, and I've been doing it a long time. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic, but shouldn't judge people. Don't judge a book by its cover, ever. Don't ever judge a book by the cover. I don't even know where to start. I guess I would just start at the beginning, right? My friend, one that's known, you know, most everything that's going on in my life, go way back. Her and I used to joke all the time that, and this is teenager, mind you, we used to joke all the time that I had enough shit going on in my life that I could write a soap opera, have my own sitcom, and then, you know, the 20s roll around and we're like, you know, me and my life, yep, always a sitcom, ha ha ha, this and this and this and this happened. And it's like, holy fuck, to the extreme. How can all of these things happen to one person? And then you turn around and get up into 30s, and now I'm in my 40s, and it's like, damn, there really has been enough shit to write a sitcom 15 times over. It's no wonder I have so many different people from different directions and areas that come to me and ask me questions about things. And frankly, with everything that I've been through, I think it should be out in the open. It could help somebody. So we'll just back it up to the beginning. I'm gonna start off very, very young. And yeah, I'm not gonna dress for the occasion. If you don't like that, you can fuck off, like all the other people that I told to fuck off earlier, who probably didn't fuck off, who are probably still watching this because they want to know what's going on in my life, so they could be like, "Ooh, let's judge." I don't care. I don't care. Look, hard tears already gone. It's back to sunshine. Told you tears happen sometimes, and they're gonna happen again, but it is a beautiful day outside. Do I hurt? Yes. It always hurt. I'm not going to talk about it though. Minus when I tell you everything that's going on, because a lot of you have asked that too. Oh, I've seen this or heard this, but I don't get it. Whatever. Where was I beginning? We're only 15 minutes in. I'm trying not to plow too much information too fast, because I know how boring it can get. That'd be my dog getting a drink of water. Addie, do you want to come say hi? She says, nope, I'm gonna drink this whole thing. I was born in Oklahoma City. Tinker Air Force Base, military base, Oklahoma City, 1982. And what do I remember about that time period? We'll just say from 1st to 4th grade. I remember we lived in Oklahoma City. I remember one day standing on the porch and I could see a little black line in the sky, and I ran in to ask my mom what it was. She told me, believe it or not, that was a tornado in Edmond. That's all I could see, was just a tiny little black line. That was kind of cool. What other storms happened? I know there was one day I went outside in the front yard and it was only raining on my front yard, because I went to go in the street and across the street and it wasn't raining. It was in my yard though. Ran in the backyard and it was raining in the backyard. So it was like only raining on my house. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. I remember we had a big, huge, fat toad about this big that was always out by the mailbox. I remember him from like 1st to 3rd grade or something. I know it was a couple years at least, a couple nice warm seasons, because I remember running out there when I was little and looking for him until the mailman got him. But we had a big toad that was out there for a couple years, and I always looked forward to seeing him. But I remember that. I remember I used to ride my bicycle to the school. My mom would let me, which things were safer back then. You know, just being by the time the lights kick on, you're good. But I used to ride my bicycle from the house to the school. And there was one morning before school, I was being a show off in this little area that was pavement that was underneath the school, but it was kind of like a really cool dip area that I should not have been being a little badass on with my little bicycle. Skinned both knees up. I remember they ended up carrying me out of there. I remember all of 1st grade I had mono. Took forever for them to figure out what was wrong. Did I kiss somebody? No. I don't know how I got it, but I remember I had mono. I remember I had chicken pox. So hopefully I won't have shingles later. My mom forced me for chicken pox. Took me to a friend's house, of course. Did the whole tie the string on the teeth and shut the door and make you go through that hell too. Yeah, I remember those days. Had a piano for a very small moment that my father brought me. That was my grandmother's piano, and there was a big, huge family fight in 4th grade. Then we moved, and the family was not a family anymore. Ever again. That's really when everything took a turn. And I've had people ask, how are you so mature for your age? Well, maybe I just went through a lot of things. Am I mature for my age? I think I've just been through a lot. Is anybody really mature? What aspect? You know what I mean? People should quit judging people. Be nice to people. That's that. I want that in video 1. Be nice to people. Just because you're intelligent, just because you're smart, just because whatever, doesn't mean that you know everything. Be nice. Have boundaries to protect yourself. But be nice. Anyway. So, I was just looking at the car that's over there. I've been watching cars. It's kind of a fun hobby. And it's beautiful outside. I know I said that, but I'm saying it again. So what happened to have a big family blow up? Well, what happened was, 4th grade, my mom started dating this guy. He ended up becoming my stepfather. And we lived in a duplex. My aunt and uncle were on one side, and me and my mother were on the other side, and her date came over. They were canoodling around the house, which, frankly, I can't blame them. Who, in a happy beginning, new relationship, isn't having some fun? But anyway, hopefully not new, but you know what I mean. Because I do think there's a period you should wait, get to know each other, especially this day and age. Things have changed now, too. That's a whole nother topic. Anyway, I don't recommend anybody be with anybody anymore. But, back in those days, this 30 years ago, less than, or no, more than 35, 40 years ago, anyway. They were messing around, and somehow they ended up in the attic messing around, and I guess on the other side of the duplex, they were also up in the attic, which is just really bad timing in my opinion. But, boys being boys, attitude, yada yada, ended up being a fight. Ended up getting kicked out of the house because it was owned by Grandma. And she didn't like the family fighting, and I don't know, that's just what I heard. Quite frankly, who knows what's true. My mother is gone. I'm not sure if my grandmother is. That's a long story. Don't know about my grandpa. I know my aunt's around, but we don't speak. It really is just me and my youngest, and my oldest is in the Navy, but there's a lot behind all of that too, because there's just a lot in every direction. So anyway, we'll just back up. Before I moved away in 4th grade, we'll go back into like 1st, 2nd grade. One thing I learned is that it pays to be nice, and you can be smart, but you can also be teachable, be a learner, which is what you're supposed to do. Because you're not going to know everything. Not everybody knows everything. You will never know everything, because the only person that does is God. So you should forever be teachable, a learner, love and light, love thy neighbor, be kind, hold boundaries, but be kind. Grace. Remember, not everybody's on the same part of the path, but we're all in lieu of the same path. We're all his children. And so you need to hold grace when grace is due. And anyway, but, I say that because, relationships these days, nobody focuses on relationships anymore. Everybody's like, fuck this, I'm just going to do whatever I want. I don't need anybody, and everybody's disconnecting away from everybody. It's a sad thing to see, because it's not what we're taught we're supposed to do. And it is a book that is full of real things and real teachings, and if you understand what it's saying instead of just memorizing the data, then you would have a better understanding on that. I mean, a lot of people sum it up as love and light and humble and grace and mercy, and it's for a reason, because if you break it down and you study it, you're supposed to live that way. people are just disconnecting from everybody and not being nice and not holding empathy or thinking of others anymore. It's becoming more selfish, dividing in all sorts of ways. I think the dating pool is going to shit. That's why I said I won't partake in it anymore. It's not worth it. So anyway, family fight happened. I'm 25 minutes in. Oh, there's a cardinal on top of my honeysuckle. Beautiful male cardinal. You know, that's where I find my smile and my joy, because we're taught that we can't do anything about our journey. We're supposed to trust and have faith. And even while I'm at my absolute lowest right now, and yes, I'm absolute lowest right now, it's beautiful outside. The cardinal coming back here was absolutely fabulous. And I absolutely hope he was in the front yard munching on the crackers I threw out there, because they'd be cool. And I bet he was. But anyway, I gotta move. I ended up moving because of a family fiasco. And we went from Oklahoma City to Grove. My mother married the gentleman that got in a fight with my other family member. And so we ended up moving to Grove into a small little trailer. And so yes, I've lived the trailer life. I started in 5th grade. That's not the only thing that started in 5th grade. I do remember that right before I left, I got kissed by my first boy named Chris. I don't remember his last name. Oklahoma City, 4th grade. That's all I know. When I moved in 5th grade, right before 5th grade, I became a female, which is super young. I was 9. It shouldn't even be a thing. But that happened. My mother left my bicycle and that piano of my grandmother's there. Is the only thing she left there when we moved. Whatever. We moved to Grove into a small little trailer. And then we lived in a decent house in the country for a little while, which was nice. And then we ended up back into a trailer again later, at least my mom direction. So that's one thing that, you know, ever since she gave up that house, it was really hard for her to recover and go backwards. And that plays into my life and the things that I had learned from. Many things to learn from. I don't know. I really feel like I said I was going to do an hour a day, but I'm almost 30 minutes in. My neck is hurting. I don't really like this chair or the position that I'm in, so I'm probably going to find a better place to do this. I do like that it's sunny outside, so maybe I can find another half-shaded spot and do this again tomorrow. We'll see. But that's video 1. It's an interesting vehicle. That's vehicle, or yeah, that's video 1. That's vehicle. Yeah, that's funny. That's what happens when you start drifting off thinking about other things. Which I kind of want to sit down and like get together like some topics and certain directions that I want to take this, because I want to make sure to pinpoint some things. But we're gonna go all sorts of different directions. And to keep it interesting, I'll give you a little tidbit. So we're gonna jump from physical abuse to child endangerment to rape to DHS to police and FBI and JDC and lawyers and lots of loss and lots of strength. And man, there's so many things that are out there in the world that I've been through that are not worth talking about. So stay tuned. Yeah, see, I need to move. But video 2 will be here, I guess, tomorrow. And we'll see how this goes. I mean, it doesn't really matter how it goes because I'm going to post it and I'm going to talk about all these things. How it goes is how it goes. We're all dying anyway. Until then, I'm going to go find me some sunshine. Feel better when I'm up anyway. Oh, you can kind of see me better, or maybe I can just see myself better. Y'all, puppies. Are you coming with me? Yeah, you want to say hi, video 1? Pretty girl. Hi, baby boy. Ew. Sweet dogs. Bye. And to those who are going to judge, see you tomorrow.